After multiplication, of course, we need to look at division. So one vocabulary term here, and that is reciprocal. Reciprocal is basically the flip of a fraction. And by definition, the product of any number and its reciprocal is 1. So quickly, we're going to give the reciprocal of these numbers. So flipping, when it's proper fraction, is easy. The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. The reciprocal of 4/5 is 5/4. And the reciprocal of 8/3 is 3/8. In order to flip a whole number, you just have to remember that these are sneakily 2/1 and 4/1 respectively. And now flipping them is easy. The reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. The reciprocal of 4 is 1/4. So, to divide fractions, we change division to multiplication and use the reciprocal of the second fraction. So, we keep the first fraction, we flip the second fraction, and we change the division sign to multiplication. We KFC this. Keep, flip, change. Technically, in order, it would be keep, change, flip, but then it's not KFC. And I want some Kentucky Fried Chicken. So we're going to talk about KFC. So, keep the first fraction. Flip the second fraction. Change the sign to multiplication. Now we're back on last lesson. Can I simplify? Yep. 3 can go into itself once. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So let's make our life easier. 7 times 1 is 7. 4 times 2 is 8. The answer is 7/8. Keep the first fraction. Flip the second fraction. Change the sign to multiplication, KFC. You note as I did this, I changed 3 1/4 into 13/4. I made it its improper equivalent. You're not allowed to use mixed numbers when you multiply. You're not allowed to use mixed numbers when you divide. So change them. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 1 is my 13/4. Here, there's no simplifying to be done because the 4's are on the same level. So this is just straight multiply. 13 times 1 is 13. 4 times 4 is 16. And 13/16 is what we got. With decimals, so 2.92, so I'm going to write 2.92 divided by 0.4. The thing you must remember is we can't actually divide by a decimal. So we say, okay, this decimal point has to come over one place to make that 4, which I can divide by. And whatever we do on the outside, we must do on the inside. So our decimal point is now between the 9 and the second 2. Once we move our decimal points and put it above the division bar so we don't forget it, we can treat this like normal division. 4 goes into 29 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. That leaves 1. Drop the 2 down. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 7.3 is the answer. And of course, there'll be some evaluating to do. So this is 7.2 divided by 0.24. Remember, a fraction can represent division as well. So let's see. 7.2 divided by 0.24. The outside decimal point's going to have to move twice to make that a number I can work with, which means the inside decimal point has to move twice. That left me a hole. Holes get filled in with zeros. Now, 24 goes into 72 3 times perfectly. And we can be very happy about that. Makes life easy. That's a remainder of 0. 24 doesn't go into 0, so I do need to fill in the space between the 3 and the decimal point with another 0. 7.2 divided by 0.24 is the whole number, 30. And last, we have m divided by 3/8 for m equals 7.5. So this is 7.5 divided by 3/8, And now let's Kentucky fry this. Keep the first fraction, changing it to an improper fraction. So that's 15 halves. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is my 15. There's Kentucky. Now we fry. 3/8 becomes 8/3. And the chicken is changing division to multiplication. There is a fair bit of simplifying you can do here. 15 and 3 can change into 5 and 1 respectively. That's nice. 2 and 8 can change into 1 and 4 respectively. That's nice. 5 times 4 is 20. In the denominator, 1 times 1 is 1. And we wouldn't write 20 over 1. That is the whole number, 20.